Small news today. I ate breakfast. That's literally all that's happened so far. And now we are tasked with getting more golds. So I can hopefully get out of here eventually. I'm never gonna use soul speed. Won't get out of here. I understand I left people with a lot to think about last time. And honestly that's fine. Let me just take care of this guy first. Holy schmoly. Suppose I should realize if I do run out of durability on the gold pants, I'm gonna I'm gonna have to be a bit more stealth, a bit more covert. But this time I just really want to talk about, dude, honestly, I don't know. I have no clue. But I'll come up with something, I assure you. I don't know, I guess I really like the nether grass. Nether grass is pretty cool. Ooh, I know what I want to talk about. Oh, not that, that's for sure. I don't want to talk about that. But okay, there's another hoglin. Skirt around real quick. Are we heading back towards the portal? Possibly. But like when I was like I don't want to be too generous, so I'm gonna say like around what is it, fifth or like fourth or fifth grade. So this is when I was a pretty young lad. This was like 30 years ago. Basically, I was just like sitting in my backyard, right? Well, it's not my backyard. My parents own the house, but like you get it, whatever. So, so in the backyard, and I don't know. I think I'm out with the dog. I'm just chilling with the dog. And then I just I'm just chilling in the backyard looking at, I don't know, the sun, burning my eyes out looking at the sun. Which remind me there's also another story for that, but you know, it was just a nice wonderful day and I look at the grass in the backyard. And that was a mistake because well, I don't know if it was necessarily the worst mistake, but I think the consequences of it are certainly pretty far-reaching. Look at the grass in the backyard, and I'm like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that happens with grass. There's a lot of stuff that happens within the grass. Like, you know, the grass is sitting there, you know, for how long, right? Like, you can watch grass for like 5 minutes and get bored, and yet the grass is there, you know, not just for even more minutes than that, but it's there for like hours, days, months, years, right? So whatever you see it do, once you go away, it's always doing that. It's always swaying, you know, it's always just doing its thing. It's always doing grass things. And that's just the stuff that, you know, you observe. Inside of the grass, like it's got a bunch of cells. It's got a, okay, I should really pull my bow out here. It's got a bunch of cells. It's got a bunch of, oh, get away. But yeah, it's got a bunch of cells, and in those cells, or between those cells, there's a bunch of interactions. In those cells, there's a bunch of interactions. You know, and those cells are made of like molecules and stuff, and those molecules are made of like atoms. And you could write about like, I mean, people have been writing about like what plant cells do, and I'd imagine, you know, about the specific chemical processes within grass. So I know I sound crazy. I know I sound absolutely crazy right now, but I swear, this is real. This is real stuff that happens. Why are there so many of these hogs, dude? Okay, I really need a better vantage point. Like I was like, you could write like a whole book about, you know, like literally just everything in the grass in like practically just like a microscopic amount of time of it like even existing. And then you could just like I suppose the mind-blowing thing to me there was just like the amount of information you can like c- pretty much create from just like nothing. And that brings me to for sort of a larger topic, like all of these numbers that we have, all of these like factors, all of these coefficients, like they aren't like absolutes of nature per se, but rather they're things that they're quantities, properties that we've deemed useful and as such have, bothered to measure. Like back in the caveman days, where, I mean, I hate the stereotype here, but they were banging rocks together and making fire. They weren't really thinking too much about, well, maybe they were thinking they had like a general like little neuron flip, but they weren't thinking specifically about like, oh, I wonder what the uh, coefficient of temperature distribution is or what of like this rock and bolt thing. Right? They weren't thinking that at all. If you think they were thinking that, I don't know. Maybe there was one genius back in the day that had an idea adjacent to that, but didn't write it down or didn't keep an oral tradition of it, which is very unfortunate. But I mean, yeah, that's the thing. So many great people could have existed. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. That's for later as well. But just so much knowledge that's just like only in existence because someone was like, "This is important. We should write it down," and people agreed with that, and then they started recording it and writing it down. Which I just want you to look at like any sort of, I know this may be a tall order, but I want you to look at any sort of like technical data sheet, right? And I want you to like think of like weird numbers that don't exist yet with like wacky names. And I just want you to like visualize them on that sheet. That's what things may be looking like in the future. And that's sort of the concept of like, like we only like discovered like well, we only really have these because like we've deemed them important and stuff. I don't know. I'm getting off track. I'm gonna pivot to one of the earlier stories. What was it? Let's see. I don't remember any of the earlier stories. Let's just try and focus on finding this old dude. Why am I mining glowstone? Get out of here. I don't want to mine freaking glowstone, man. I'm trying to think of branching out to any other, I don't know, like another Minecraft server would be a good idea. I know I probably said in the past that it wasn't, but and as much as I like survival Minecraft, I'd imagine people would like to see, a little bit of variety. So I've had a couple of thoughts. First off is Hypixel minigames. I'm aware of the existence of Hypixel Skyblock. I've played it before. I'm not getting into it again. It's a waste of time. It is a genuine waste of time, and I'm not doing it anymore. Okay. That's my opinion on that. Very short, very sweet, very to the point. Nice. Now I don't have to talk about it anymore. Um, any other server? I mean, maybe, probably. So it's going to be difficult getting players on, any other server. Well, actually, that's not true. There's a couple. There's a like Hoplite, which is like Minecraft fighting. I'm gonna be honest with you, as much as I've really wanted to improve at Minecraft combat, I'm not that good. You could probably see is, like I'm fighting these hogs and such. But I'm not very effective at dispatching them. I'll help you out. There you go. Woo! We did it. Unfortunately, they aren't dancing because they're not enough on it right now. Ooh. Ding, 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 ding! What? No, 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 no. Dude, 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 dude. Okay, they're still following. They're still following. This guy's still following me. Still following me. Still following. Okay. Okay. Thankfully, my armor didn't break in total. So, there's some gold down there. I really just want to heal up right now, dude. Really just want to heal up. I didn't think that getting this 9th obsidian would be such a pain. Or no, the 10th. I already have 9. The 9th obsidian that I'm holding right now, where is it? Where is it? I can't possibly fathom where it could be located. Okay, buddy. Okay. Awesome. Amazing. They aren't angry at me. That's awesome. That's good. It's fantastic. I really should just pick up a blue mushroom at this point, but I'm too lazy to do that. Let's see, where are you, little piggies? Here you go. Actually, it's kind of gonna be unfortunate because the piglin's gonna grab one, I think. Yeah. Oh, well, then I should have just right-clicked on him. Oh, that was a splash potion of fire resistance. I guess I have fire resistance now. Oh, you know, the other thing I could do is I could look for a ruin portal, which I mean, is much easier said than done. I don't think I'm gonna find that for a while. Let's see, what about other things? Ooh, more ender pearls, nice. Hmm. What to do, what to do? I gotta get out of here. I have been thinking about, the moral implications of building large Minecraft farms from tutorials. I haven't gotten that far yet. However, I think what I'm gonna try to do is avoid, well, not just avoid, just outright banning, like, building any, like, farms from tutorials. So basically, I want to restrict it such that, like, I can only build stuff that I've actually, like, built myself. Okay, well, this sucks. I can't mine that at all. Because there's stuff there. And by stuff, I mean penguins. Piglins are stuff. OMG, no. And I guess I could kill these guys. Just gonna make sure there's absolutely no way that they can get to me. Is there absolutely no way they can get to me? Yes. Awesome. Great. I've thought about strip mining instead. However, well, A, I could run into lava, but B, that's boring. I'm not gonna strip mine for gold. Not gonna do that. Instead, I will explore for it, like an honorable, valiant warrior. Which, I mean, it's Minecraft. I can LARP a bit. So, get off my case is what I'm saying. Dang. Sorry for going into F3, breaking the immersion. Yeah, but it's freaking pigs. Get out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this one with me too. Get a warped fungus in my system. Maybe get 2. Maybe get 3. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Like I said it like I was being assertive, but it was more because I was like terrified. I just wouldn't listen and just run into me anyways. Yeah, this Nether terrain generation is pretty brutal. Uh, Very difficult to get around, unfortunately. 'Cause if it was easier to get around, then I'd be able to move around easier. No duh, Sherlock. I mean, like, come on. I feel like I think about things a lot. When I go to actually, like, say what I'm thinking, it's not very profound. That's probably a well-recorded, well-documented effect, but I haven't bothered to, like, look into it. Ooh, that would have been cool. Just hoping to loop around, hit the clutch. But yeah, I just have all these thoughts, and then, I go to actually say them. Especially when I'm doing something else. Like, right now, I'm, like, playing and talking. Typically, I usually just play and think in my mind. And if I do want to say something, I just type it up. Uh, yeah, get away from me. Eat the fungus. Not the fungus. Ew. Hopefully YouTube doesn't detect that as a swear, because I literally did just say fungus for that second half of the word. I could script my videos. That is a good point. I've definitely thought about that. I don't want to do that. Why? Because I have to read off the script or read off bullet points. Bullet points not that bad. I've actually done that before, but reading off a script for me, I'd have to be good at acting, which I'm not. Uh, Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Wonder where I am. I might be back. I might actually be back. Holy moly. Wait, because I don't recognize this, which means it must have been from like so far in the pet. Dude, I found my way out. Holy moly, dude, that's legendary. That was such a legendary Minecraft Odyssey, dude. They ought to make a movie about that. Oh my goodness. I've never been so happy to see my freaking starter house, man. Holy moly. That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. I think we may have to break a little bit of our chest organization here. Just so we can, dump all our stuff into the chest. Now that I'm back, well, first off, we can find the stronghold, which I think I'm gonna do. It'd be really nice to get an elytra real quick. So let's get the eyes. Let's figure out the general direction we're supposed to go. Again, can't use F3. Also, I really need food. Jeez Louise. Let's get this food into our hot bar. Sorry, jeez Louise. I just kind of burped. Speaking of Louise, I know this really. Well, never mind about that. I think I'm naming this guy Luis. I'm naming this guy Luis. This guy seems like a Luis. Let me just get some shut-eye real quick. But I do think it's fitting to, give the spirit a vessel that it can possess. So even though Luis has been haunting me for like the past however many minutes, however many years, uh, and he may have power far beyond anything I could ever imagine. I think, naming this little puppet Luis could potentially, trap the spirit's energy. So you are now officially named Luis. There we go. You know what? I just realized I say "Geez Louise" a lot. Maybe that's like if you say it 5 times fast, it summons that guy. I don't know. I don't care. Let's throw this eye that way. Gonna mark it. And honestly, I think that's a good place to call it. That was quite eventful. I almost died. What? Slime where? Slime here? That's crazy. Okay, get out of here. But very, very welcome. Slime is very welcome. I'm gonna mark that with torches. So maybe in the future I could build a slime farm, which is actually not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it the modern way. Because the modern way actually it just gives so much slime. I built it on a multiplayer server. It gives so much slime, it's ridiculous. But I mean, this seems like a good place to call it. Through the eye here, headed over there. Next episode, we're gonna head over there. See ya.